Okay, this is cube root of unity, right? So in order to find the cube roots of unity, let us take the number denoted by z equal to 1 raised to the power 1 by 3. Okay, so that means z is equal to this. So you can actually write this as z cube is equal to 1, cubing both sides. Okay, so in other words, we can rewrite this as the z cube minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, this can be factorized. Z minus 1 into, this can be written as z squared plus z plus 1 equal to 0. So z cube minus 1 equal to 0 now factor ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. Okay, so this means either the first term equal to 0 or the second term equal to 0. So this implies z minus 1 equal to 0 or the z square plus z plus 1 is equal to 0. So left hand side suggests that you can write z equal to 1. Z minus 1 equal to 0. So we can write simply z is equal to 1. This is one root. At the same time, the quadratic equation, you can try to write its root, that is z is equal to minus b, that is minus 1, plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ a ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ b ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ c ಇದೆ. So a b c all are 1 1 1. Okay, now using this we can rewrite value of z as this is equal to, this is minus 1 plus or minus root of minus 3 whole divided by 2. This means it is minus 1 plus or minus I times root 3. Ali root of minus 1 into 3 in the body. A root of minus 1 anna I in the kare. So divided by 2. So you have 3 roots of unity, right? The cube roots of unity. If I want to find cube root of 1 is equal to, first answer is 1, next answer is minus 1 plus I times root 3 divided by 2 and minus 1 minus I root 3 divided by 2. Okay, so overall we have the roots denoted by this. So they are called as cube roots of unity, and cube roots of unity have the following feature. I root 3 by 2 and minus 1 minus I root 3 by 2. Okay, we denote them in the following fashion. So this is denoted as 1. One of them is called as omega. Second one is called as omega square. Okay, so these two are referred as complex roots of unity. Okay, this is complex cube roots of unity. unity. So the 1 itself is called as, right, the normal roots of unity. All right, now let us try to look at the property, right? The properties of cube roots of unity are as follows. All right, so now the first is that if you take the sum of the cube roots of unity, right, we have three cube roots. The first one is, let's try to take the sum 1 plus, this is omega plus omega square, right? And when you add them up, you get 0. And omega cube is equal to 1. So any omega square into omega you can perform, right? Omega into omega square we can perform, right? We get answer is equal to 1. Right. Now next one is to find the omega to the power n for any value of n such that n greater than 3. Okay, so in general we are going to perform this operation, the modulo operation. That is, so you want to write a power n, divide that power n by 3, right? So there is a n number which is given, find the omega power, say 23, right? N is 23, divide this 23 by 3, right? And you get a q over there. Okay, so I get 3q, and let's say that we have a reminder, right? This means I'm able to write the given number n as n is equal to, this is 3q, n is equal to 3q plus r, right? Always this reminder will be between 0 and 2, 0 less than r less than or equal to 2, because it's a reminder part. You are dividing by 3, reminder is always less than or equal to 2, right? Now this implies if you want to find the omega n, this is nothing but omega to the power 3r, 3q, my mistake, 3q plus r. This is equal to omega 3q into multiplied by, this is omega r. Alright, so this is multiplied. Fine, omega 3q into omega raised to the power r. Right, so this also I can rewrite as omega 3 to the power q into omega to the r. So omega 3 is 1, 1 to the power q is 1. So this remains simply omega to the r. Okay, so we understand that you just have to find out what value of omega r remains. So this is r less than or equal to 2. So we get either omega 0, omega 1 or omega 2. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವನ್ನು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಒಮೆಗಾ 0 ಬರೆದ್ರೆ 1 ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. ಒಮೆಗಾ 1 ಅಂತ ಬಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಒಮೆಗಾ. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೋ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒಮೆಗಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು -1 ಪ್ಲಸ್ √3i whole divided by 2. At the same time, the last one, if you get omega square, it's minus 1 minus I root 3 divided by 2. Okay, let's go ahead. The next property is 1 plus omega raised to the any power r plus omega raised to the power 2 into that r is actually, this will be having two parts. This is equal to 3, right? If the given r value is a multiple of 3, okay, otherwise if it is not a multiple of 3, right, if I can write n is a multiple, sorry, this is not n, this is r. If r is a multiple of 3, then the answer is 3, this is else. If it is not a multiple of 3, then we'll write this is equal to 0. So if the power r can be observed as a power of 3, 1 plus omega power 3 plus omega power 6, you see that the answer is equal to 3, otherwise it is 0. Right, then very similar to the plus one, we have the cube roots of minus 1. So next property, cube roots of minus 1 are minus 1 are minus 1 comma minus omega minus 1, this is r minus 1 minus omega square. Alright, then let's go to another property. The next property is this. If at all we write a plus b times omega plus c times omega square is equal to 0, right? Then this implies a should be equal to b should be equal to c, and a comma b comma c should be completely real. Okay, only when a b c are equal, this becomes equal to 0. A plus b omega plus c omega square equal to 0 means a and b and c are same. Okay, then let's, if at all, right, ABC equal to 0, a plus b plus c is equal to 0, and a square plus b square plus c square is equal to 0, right? This implies the ratios a to b to c should be equal to 1 omega square, right? So ABC should be in the ratio 1 to omega square. Okay, right, now there is another property. This is, let's say we have a complex number. A complex number, say a plus ib, right? For which the magnitude of a to b, right, is always equal to, let's assume that this is a number 1 to root 3. If at all you have this ratio or this ratio. The other ratio is root 3 to 1. Right? It should be 1 to root 3 or root 3 to 1 only. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದಿದ್ರು ಈ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Alright? So can be expressed in terms of omega and omega square. So we can try to represent them using these two, omega and omega square. Right? That means, let's say this is an example. 1 plus I root 3. Right? So 1 and root 3 we can see. So it is in the ratio 1 to root 3. I'll try to write this as this is equal to minus of minus 1 minus I root 3. Okay? When you write this, I can actually divide by 2 and multiply by 2. There is a root of 3 divided by 2 into root 2. So divide by 2 is going to be a omega square. So this is minus 2 times this minus 1 minus I root 3 by 2 is omega square. So you see it has been represented as omega square. Next, let's take another example. Say this is root 3 plus I. Okay, but I want the root 3, the I to be present with the root 3. Right, I has to be a part of root 3. So what you do, you multiply and divide by I to this number. So that is root 3 plus I divided by I multiplied by I. So multiplication of I becomes I square is minus 1 plus I root 3 divided by I. Okay, so divide by I is nothing but minus I. So we'll write this is minus I into minus 1 plus I root 3 divided by 2 and multiply by 2. So this 2 can also be taken out. This is minus 2I know. Whatever is here, right? Minus 1 plus I root 3 by 2. This is nothing but omega. So you see the given number has been represented as in terms of omega now. Either it will be represented as omega or omega square. Okay, then right, fine. Let's solve a problem. So find the value of the following, that is omega raised to the power this is 1999. Okay, so represent this 1999 as a omega to the power say 1. Okay, so this is 199. Let's try to write this. Dividing 1999 by 3. Right. Okay, so we have 1998, correct? Okay. One is a reminder. So we can write this number as W or omega to the power 3 times, this is 666 plus 1. So we know that this is W 3 to the power 666 plus W to the 1. Alright, so W 3 to the power 666 becomes 1. So this is simply omega. What is the value of omega? Omega can be written as, we know the value. This is 1 minus 1 plus I root 3 whole divided by 2. Alright. Use the same technique to calculate W to the power 165. Okay, when we divide the 165 by 3, right, I get 55. No reminder, right? This is 3 means this is 55 times I get 165. So this is 0. So 0 reminder means, right, I can write this as 3 into 55 plus 0. So that means W 3 to the power 55 plus, not sorry, plus, not into W to the power 0, correct? What is W to the power 0? First term 0, not 0, 1, correct? Because W cube is 1, 1 to the power 55 is 1. Okay, so that is right. Then second term is W to the power 0. What is W to the power 0? Yes. Okay, so the answer is 1 here. Okay, next number, calculate W to the power 307. So this answer is equal to omega. Right, then we'll go for a negative power. Okay, this is, we want to find now omega to the minus 998. Okay, so we have a solution now. This simply can be written as, right, we can do the, keep it as a numerator and calculate, but the easiest way to bring it into denominator, 1 divided by, this is omega to the power 998. Okay, so this is equal to multiply and divide, because I bring a proper 3 to the power number, right? 998 is not divisible by 3. But if you want to make it divisible by 3, you have to bring it into 999 or 996. So 999 ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು omega denominator ಗೆ extra ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. So to compensate that, I numerator also I'll multiply by omega. Right? This is omega to the 999. Okay, so you see denominator is now, it's a proper, right, term in terms of a multiple of 3. 3 into some number is 999, correct? 3 into 333. So this denominator is now, this is 1, because the omega power 999 is omega 3 power 333. So that's why it is equal to 1 now. So what remains? Only omega. Alright, so whenever the negative number is given, bring it into the denominator and try to make it a perfect cube. Okay, alright, let's see. So the next number is omega to the power 237 minus 237. Yes, because 237 is divisible by 3, so we have 1 divided by omega power 237, so that's equal to 1. Alright, then omega to the power minus 481, this is equal to 1 divided by omega to the power 481. Okay, now 481 you cannot anyway you can try to write it in 481 and divide ಮಾಡಿ ಬರಿಬಹುದು. But 481 is not divisible by 3, right? What you do, you have to make this 481 into what number so that it becomes divisible by 3. What is that number? 481 ಆಗಲ್ಲ, 482 ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, 483 ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? So 483 ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ I have to supply how many omegas? 2 omegas, right? So this means denominator ಗೆ 2 ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, numerator ಗೂ 2 ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, right? This means numerator is omega square divided by denominator is omega to the 483. Now this denominator is 1 now, correct? So that means this is equal to omega square. Okay, so when you say that this is 1 by omega, right, we know that omega cube is equal to 1, right? So you try to use this to get omega square, and omega is equal to omega square is 1 by omega. Actually 1 by omega ಬಂದಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು correct ಇದೆ answer. Okay, all right. Next number is omega to the power minus 1034. This is equal to omega. All right, next question. Calculate minus 1, this is plus I root 3 whole divided by 2 to the power 3n plus 2. So this is equal to omega square. All right, next question. Okay, question from one of the old paper. This is z is equal to root 3 plus I by 2. If z is equal to this, find the value of z to the power 101 plus I to the power 103 whole raised to the power 105. Yes, this is the question. Okay, z ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I, we know that I is equal to root of minus 1. We know any I to the power ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತಾನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, right? This is a all together it's a mixed question. Z is given, I is given, find individually terms. Z to the power calculate ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, I to the power ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, then sum I raised to the power 105 to get an answer. Okay, try this. Okay, Z is given. Anyway, this Z can be converted into required format. So Z is equal to root 3 plus I by 2 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, I want I to be with the root 3, so multiply and divide by I. Okay, so this means it is I into I is minus 1, then this is plus I root 3 whole divided by 2I. Okay, so when I write this as whole divided by 2I, so 1 by I is minus I, so I can rewrite this as minus I into This is minus 1 plus I root 3 divided by 2, which is omega, right? So this is minus I into omega. All right, this is z. Z power is 101. So z raising to the power 101 indicates that this is minus I omega to the power 101, right? So this is minus I to the power 101 and omega to the power 101, right? So I to the power odd number bandre I irutte, so this is minus I as it is. What is omega to the power 101, right? So this is equal to minus I omega square anta barutte niಮಗೆ. That is the only the first term, that is z to the power 101, right? Next you see they have mentioned that there is a requirement of calculation of I to the power 103. Okay, so this is I cube is minus I, right? I can simply write this is minus I. So what is there in the bracket, inside the bracket we can write in this way. So this implies z to the power 101 plus I to the power 103 is equal to z to the 101 ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬಂತಮ್ಮ, this is minus I times omega square ಬಂತು ಸರಿಯಾ, and the next term is minus I. So let's take the minus I omega square minus I ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ. Okay, so this means minus I. So I am going to take minus I outside and you are left with omega square plus 1, right? What is omega square plus 1? Can you substitute something to omega square plus 1 in terms of omega? Omega ತಗೊಂಬರಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? Because we see we have a property 1 plus omega square is equal to what? It's equal to 0, right? So 1 plus omega square equals to omega ಆಚೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, this is minus omega. So this is nothing but minus I into omega square plus 1 is minus omega. So this is I times omega 1. That is inside this bracket. So now you raise this. So this implies the question is z to the power 101 plus I to the power 103 to the power 105 is nothing but simply I omega raised to the power 105. Correct? So this is I to the power 105 into omega to the power 105. So what is I to the power 105? It's 104 varage ide, next number I ide, so this is I into, see this is omega to the power 105. When you calculated, I think you got 1, right? This part 1. So that is I. Final answer is I.